On the 3rd of this month, we had a storm pass through my area that knocked out our telecommunications network, more or less, local one. What the damage I received was it burned out my the internet filter that's connected to the phone line, so I can have a phone call and an ADSL connection. It burnt out my computer's network port. It also burnt out a hard drive, a 1 terabyte hard drive, which I lost a hell of a lot of stuff. Not the one that I was expecting to, the one I thought where I had all my even more better stuff in it. I won't go and say what was in it. There's no porn, no, there's nothing of those sort of things. It was documentaries. The one that I didn't lose was documentaries, etc. The one which I did lose was mainly movies and so on. But that's not important. Today, they finally resolved in getting my internet connection fixed, which also powers my television, because I have television by cable, not fiber or anything. But I'm going to resolve that. Like I said in my last video just a couple of days ago, where I am going to move to 4G internet. It'll be much faster, and because of my area, it'll be okay, because there are just not a lot of people where I live, so we will still have a hell of a lot of bandwidth. And that being said, I've already ordered the pieces. I'm upgrading my computer. The bits are already at the store. I'm going to pick them up tomorrow. And I'm also going to talk to another service provider to fix me up with a good plan, because I want to cut my communications expenditure by at least half. And I think I can, like I said. But now, that being said, thank you all for appearing. Hello, everyone. It's awesome to be back online. My trek through the wilderness of having extremely limited internet connection through my mobile phone, which I'm going to also change, because it is enough. I can get coverage in my house, which I used to not have, and this Vodafone Portugal in mobile phones in my area, my house, has the best signal, even though the antennas will harbours the three major communications companies in Portugal: Vodafone, NOS, and MEO, which means in Portuguese mine. NOS means ours, nos, and Vodafone Portugal. Yeah, and there's also a few other things. But today's stream, let's get back to archaeology. Today's stream, we're going to come to my general area. That's northern Portugal, the small province. We have provinces, but they're small, of Minho, and which is divided by a river from the northwestern province of Spain called Galicia. Now, these two provinces, the Portugal and the Spanish one, harbour basically the Celtic peoples of Iberia. Yes, it does extend a little bit south to where the capital, where the not where the capital, where Oporto is, but I think the general boundary is a bit to the north of Oporto, and we are going to go into a period of pre-Neanderthals. You guys know I love Neanderthals. I absolutely do. And I have so many meaty subjects, meaty articles of talking about Neanderthals, which I will promise I will do them. I will absolutely do them. I have... today is a bit complicated because I only have one monitor on my PC. My graphics card also was burnt one of the ports of the graphics card was burnt in that thunderstorm strike that blew out my internet, blew out my hard drive, blew out my LAN port on my motherboard, and it also killed my second monitor connection, so I only have one monitor now. I could have two because I don't have that dongle to convert DVI to VGA, but that'll come in my next awesome computer. 6 cores, 8 gigabytes of RAM. It'll be awesome. But that's another story. It'll come soon. I'm gonna build it up tomorrow. So yeah. Now let's get to the story. Where I live, we have a river that divides, like I said, divides Portugal and Spain. It's called the River Minho. It basically the source is in Spain, but not far from where I am. It divides Portugal and Spain until the sea, and on both sides of both margins. A long time ago, during about 300 or so thousand years ago, between 200 and 300,000 years ago, pre-Neanderthal, the inhabitants, the human inhabitants, which were not H. sapiens, but they were another H species, inhabited this area because the river Minho Valley, it's as I see it, as I can imagine it back in its day, was a hunter's paradise. The river now is deeper than it used to be, 200,000, 300,000 years ago, by about 30 meters at least. 30 to 40 meters. I don't know how much the erosion works because I don't know that. And there have been found on both sides of the border finds from that period, and we're going to discuss it. I'm going to talk about this. I usually pick, you guys should know by now, well, I don't think you guys will know by now, but I usually pick the article which I can absolutely tear apart. I have provided in the description the actual study and another one. I have 2 studies that are included in this article, and I've chosen this one because it's Australian, and I lived in Australia, as you guys know from my accent. I'm not South African, if you guys want to know. I lived in Australia, in Melbourne. And I'm going to link it, and we can read and we can discuss. So here we go, and there we have it. It's from Australasian Science. There are much better articles on this what I'm going to do, this study, but this research, but I'm going to concentrate on this because it's fun. And I'm all excited. I got my internet back. Darn it. And oh, by the way, the last video I made, I swore and I said bad words, and it's still monetized. I really don't understand Google and YouTube. They're weird. But anyway, let's get back. Giant Handaxes suggest a different group of early humans coexisted in ancient Europe. Bear in mind this title, by the way. It's by Martina de Muro, most likely from the ARC DECRA Research Fellow, University of Adelaide in Australia. I know this place. This is not far from me. It's less than 50 kilometers from my house. And the similar place on my side of the border is only 27 kilometers from my house. So, and haven't concluded. I've not included the Portuguese research because we haven't published it in English. Never mind. Let's read. So it starts. Even our earliest ancestors made and used technology. Yes, we know that. If you guys follow me, you know that I've been telling that H. habilis were the first ones to produce tools, and maybe even earlier, etc., etc. There's news research that's come about that maybe the stone tools were not used first by H. habilis. I can't say the H word again yet because my pronunciation makes it a derogatory term. I apologize for that, but I'll say H. You know what I mean. H.O.am.o. In Latin, it's uomo. And my dear friend, I consider everyone that appears, that follows me and everything, a friend. Even the ones that follow me from hate, etc. Even Potato and Caligula, which they've blocked me. But never mind. Something we can look back on thanks to the lasting nature of stone tools. That's stating the obvious. I have to warn you, this article is possibly aimed at primary school level, because damn, you'll see what I mean. So an exceptionally high density of giant hand axes. They're not giant hand axes, they're just hand axes, big hand axes. Dated from 200,000 to 300,000 years ago, have been uncovered at an archaeological site in Galicia, northwest Spain. Not just that, but northern Portugal, like I said, near my place where I live. I visited the site. I've even held some of the hand axes that they have uncovered. It is near one of our. We have not far from where the Portuguese finds were discovered. We have a 4-star hotel, a sports centre that is world class for people, for athletes and soccer and teams, athletic teams to do their pre-season whatever, etc., etc. You know what I mean? It's like the sports centres, renowned one. We have a really good one. It was built because of the Euro 2004 when Portugal had it. Something irrelevant, but just so you know the context of where it is. It is about 200 meters from this extremely good touristy and sporty centre. We also have a faculty, a university faculty for sports development, those university courses that train coaches and so on, higher level fitness thingy bobs. I don't know. I'm an archaeologist. I'm not a sports trainer or whatever. And there's a link here. You can see the findings were documented in the link which I've described. It's from Nature. I think it's full, but let me check. I'll come back to it. This is the actual scientific paper by M. Mendes Quintas, M. Santoja, A. Perez Gonzalez, M. Duval, M. De Muro. She was there. And J. Arnold. So she's M. De Muro. She came over here. And it is complete. So yes, you can even download the PDF if you guys want to see it yourselves. But Martina de Muro was in that excavation. She wasn't in the Portuguese side, she was in the Spanish side. So they found these hand axes. Here they are. I'm going to summarize because what the article, you guys can read it, but it's basically Look at this. Look at this phrase. The discovery of these Handaxes suggests an alternative type of stone tool technology were simultaneously being used at different populations in this area, supporting the idea that prehistoric Game of Thrones scenario existed in Neanderthals as in Neanderthals emerged in Europe. No! Damn it! These are Acheulean Handaxes, and I'll explain what Acheulean Handaxes are. Acheulean Handaxes are associated with H. erectus and H. antecessor, the actual ancestor of possibly Neanderthals, Denisovans, and us, sapiens, right? Now, this technology was emerged around 1.2 million years ago, and it possibly lasted until 200,000 years ago, right? Now, they were characterized, the characteristics of this assemblage, this culture, this stone tool thing was massive Handaxes like you guys see in this picture here, right? They are bifacially flinted, so they were easy to produce, they were durable, they had good cutting edges and good malleability, right? That's what the Acheulean Handaxes were, and they are named after Saint Achille, a site that was discovered in France. I can't remember the area of France. I will say it's southern France because that seems to be where all the greater discoveries of humanity and human evolution has been there since, from Erectus to Neanderthals to us, etc., etc. So that's what Acheulean Handaxes are now. Antecessor, which I have called, and I will, it's been classified as H. heidelbergensis, and heidelbergensis is, in my humble, only my humble opinion, the ancestor, and I will maintain this until data proves me wrong, and as soon as a study is published that says nope, heidelbergensis was not the ancestor of Neanderthals, H. sapiens, and Denisovans, etc., because Neanderthals and Denisovans branched off sometime around 200 to 300,000 years ago, more or less. I will maintain that Heidelbergensis is the ancestor of H. sapiens, with the subspecies of Neanderthalensis, sapiens, and Denisovians, and that other one. We'll always come back to that other one, the one that the Andaman Islanders DNA has, which is not Denisovan or Neanderthal. It is a fourth human. I will repeat this. This is my record, and I will believe. I don't care where he emerged, where he evolved. But that is the four which I believe, or not believe. I have faith. Not have faith. The evidence proves. Have a drink because I'm confusing myself. Now, in Portugal, in January, I went to a small conference, and I went to the sites, and I talked to the archaeologists that excavated in Portugal. They are linked with their Galician counterparts, and because you cannot separate the two, even though there's a river in between them, in between now what is the border of Portugal and Spain, Galicia and Portugal, they are artificial barriers. That they were the same. They were probably produced by the same groups, not groups. because of course you have to look at the chronology of 100,000 years at least. Now, Acheulean technology would later give way to the what's the technology? Mousterian technology. And the Mousterian technology, also named in southern France or France, of a cave or a town called Le Mastour. I pronounce it like crap because I only can pronounce Australian and very bad Australian. I can't do the South African, but never mind. And Le Mastour are associated, and they've been until disproven, until evidence emerges, they are exclusively Neanderthal technology, right? So this is not Neanderthal. This is pre-Neanderthal. This is Erectus and or Heidelbergensis. And judging by the time period, 200,000, 300,000 years ago, I will say that this is Heidelbergensis or antecessor. If you guys see in the link, stone tool technology. Porto Maior is near the town of As Neves. As Neves is so damn close to me. I always go there many times. It was affected last year through some fires in the forest. It is a beautiful little town. When you drive into it, on the it's not a dual carriage, but just a really good road. You turn right, but the town is on the turn left, but the town is on the right, on a sort of a hill. It's beautiful. It curves behind itself along a mountain hillish area, and there's another road that goes to another town. It is extremely nice. It's a beautiful little town. From there you can see Portugal, obviously, because there's only a river between the two places. And I've been there shopping even, and petrol. I've put tires on my vehicles in that little locality. So see how close it is to me. This is my backyard, right? Which borders Portugal and Spain. The archaeological site of Porto Maior, I will go there, by the way, preserves an ancient stone tool culture known as the Acheulean, which is characteristic by symmetrically napped stones or large flakes by faces. The Acheulean is the first sophisticated hand-axe technology known in the early human settlement record of Europe. In Africa, it superseded the Oldowan technology, which the Oldowan technology from the Olduvai Gorge in northeast Africa. I always forget if it's Tanzania, Uganda, or Tanzania or Uganda, more or less those two countries, or not Ethiopia. But they are associated with H. habilis, by the way, or Elia, like I said before. So while Acheulean sites are widespread across the continent, right, Porto Maior represents Europe's first extensive accumulation of large stone tools, LCTs. Why this acronym? The three letters, whatever. Never mind. In the Acheulean tradition, so they found a huge deposit of them. So, until now, such high densities of LCTs, lazy, large cutting tools, lazy writing people, this is lazy writing, have only been found in Africa. Okay, so the new finding reinforces an African origin of the Acheulean in Africa. Yes, it does. That's where it developed. H. erectus came from Africa, and possibly H. heidelbergensis also came from Africa. Yes, so what? And confirms an overlap of time frames of distinctly different stone tool cultures on the continent. No, it doesn't. The overlap of what? At this time, 200, 300,000 years ago, there was no Masturian technology yet. That came slightly later. So no, shut up. I mean, yeah. Around the same time that Handaxes were being used in Puerto Mayor, a different stone tradition, early Middle Paleolithic was present in Iberia, for example, Ambrona, Cuesta de la Bajada. That's the Cuesta. That's the coast of the Bajada means lowering. It's weird names. It doesn't translate easy well. In in Central and Eastern Europe, where tools were made exclusively on small flakes, the Acheulean traditions have never been found. So what? That's in Eastern Europe and Central Europe. We're talking about the Iberian Peninsula, for example. And in one or two sites, Puerto Mayor introduces further complexities of this overlapping technological pattern. I will be doing some videos just addressing these overlapping patterns and what has been discovered very recently. But that'll be another video, and suggests that distinct early human populations of different geographical origins coexisted during the Middle Pleistocene between 773,000 and 125,000 years. Do you see why I have problems with this article? Do you guys see 773,000 and 125,000 years ago? That's where this article gets its range, yet the Handaxes were dated in the middle between 200 and 300,000 years ago. So this is really lazy writing. I won't go into more. The article just goes a little bit. Basically, they've been dated using post-infrared post-infrared simulated luminescence. That's a dating method, dating the potassium feldspar grains, and electron spin resonance, dating the quartz grain. That's how they dated them between the 200,000 and 300,000 years ago. So the dating is perfect. The dating is valid. It's radiometric dating, of course. Really good techniques. I've recently, very recently, a couple of months or two ago, read about this, just so I can get my background in how dating techniques have evolved and so on. And it is very good dating technique. It gets smaller. There's also another dating technique where to get DNA samples, they're trying to reduce the minimum sample from 500 micrograms to 200 micrograms, which I will cover soon. So stay tuned. And basically they use thermoluminescence. Basically it's a technique, a really good refined thermoluminescence dating. It's easily found if you want to go. Of course, yes, they migrated. So like I said, 1.7 million years ago to Acheulean technology in Europe lasted a bit longer. So what? Nothing controversial about that. We are finding technologies that have lasted longer than they should have, and other technologies that were introduced earlier than they should have. That is awesome. Just shows that archaeology and knowledge is growing, and yes, no problems there. So I will go to this area to visit, and I'm going to soon. Now that I have internet back, I was going to do this earlier, but I got this article the day before my internet blew, and I've been holding it here. But I will contact the at least the Spanish authors and Portuguese contemporaries on the Portuguese side, because I like stuff, and you can see this area. There's a hell of a lot of Acheulean, not many. There are some just pebbles, but Acheulean technology. So yes, this article is close to my place, my house, my area, and the history of the people that live in my neck of the woods, it keeps extending backwards in time, which is awesome to me. I'm a bit guys, I can't read. I know you guys are commenting. I have my laptop with the super chat, and I'm not watching that because I have to watch this on front of my PC. When I get my second screen back up, hopefully tomorrow, then I can interact a bit better than you guys. I'm just going to stop sharing because the article comes to an end. Few just announcements. I really need to catch up on the lost streams I made. I have enough material. Tomorrow I'm going to do another one unless something really bad happens. I'm going to try and do this week at least one, and this week trying to do. I will not promise, because I live in backwaters. I live in a national park. We are ignored from civilization, but I'm happy, and I have a few other things on Neanderthals. I have so much beautiful articles on Neanderthals, and not just Neanderthals. Also, our emergence of us, Homo sapiens, that'll really angrify the identitarians from both sides, mostly from the left, the right. But, so yes, I will plan to do tomorrow another stream, Wednesday another stream, Thursday another stream, and Friday another stream. I'm hoping to, if I get response, no names as yet, some high-level YouTubers, just to talk like I did in stream before my culture stream. It was a slightly directed. I know I have to get Goodfella back on, because I think I feel that he felt a slightly not in his place of comfort, and I have to get Skeptor again. Damn, I love those two guys. They are so awesome. I wish they do again the accent. Not accent. They had it. Both of them had a stream not so long ago. That was just awesome. I wish they could hear me. They're not listening to me, but someone, I will link it to them, especially say them that foreign accent type thing. The one was a Scots, the other one was Israeli, and me, an Australian, we can do a good drunken Scottish accent. Not as good as, no, I can't do the Scottish accent. I'm not drunk enough, but I can do the South African one. I think that's my best accent I can imitate. But it's not because I'm South African, you kaffa. It's because I can do it. Tony Gregg, but I'm accent overlords. Thank you, Davey. Yes, that one that has to come back, and I really love for them to have me on, because I have opinions, and I want to get some biggish YouTubers to celebrate. No promises. I never make promises. I will try. If they come on, they come on. If they don't come on, it's all cool as ever. And yeah, this is so awesomely to come back and talk. And I'm going to now address the chat. I just have to open a new stream because I'm still up. No, can't see that. Damn it. Bugger. How do I watch this? Oh, I shouldn't have closed the window. I'm so stupid. I know what. It's in the history. Sometimes I can get... Here we go. I found it. Oh, I'm so good. No, I'm not so good. I'm just so good. Come on, admit it. There we go. So, let's have a look at what the chat has got to say. Hello, Carlos David. Hello, John. Hello, Davey. Who else? Hello, Eon. How are you, man? Who else? Giovanna. Cara tutte bene? What else? Who else? Oh, Levi, how are you, man? We are done. No, we're not done yet, man. I'm still here. Don't be so hasty. You sound like a hobbit. I'm Treebeard, you know. I'm gonna another couple of minutes. If I did not have to get up slightly early tomorrow, I would have closed this stream, posted another one online, and you guys and just everyone could come in. But I don't want to. I want to separate the two, so I'm just going to say hello to everyone. Any questions? No questions about archaeology. What do you think of the EU's? Davey, I'm not going to answer it here because I want to keep this archaeological. But Franco would be happy. That's all I'm going to say. Franco could be anyone. Could be James Franco. So you know what I mean. You guys know what I mean. So yes. Yeah. Would I ever dig in Patagonia if there are any? Yes, I would. I know that Patagonia is the paradise for paleontologists or dinosaur hunters. It is, and not just dinosaur hunters, but it is paradise. Just so much. Not so much humans, Levi. No, but yeah. Oh yes, I would. I'm an archaeologist, but I could have gone to paleontology if it wasn't for mathematics. I love both. So yeah. We'll check it now, Giovanna. Yes, I'm back on Discord. Luckily, I've posted my thingy-me-bobs. Yes, I will join, absolutely. I've completed, Giovanna, grazie tanto, cara. Probably a bit of Spanish because my pronunciation has been, been at least 3 decades since I parlato italiano. Ma ne capito un poco. But yeah, so, oh God, I'm crap. Anyway, guys, why the F won't let me type in the chat? I don't know, man. I wouldn't type in anything compromising because, you guys know that YouTube now is recording chats and they're not innocent. They're gonna use bots to filter people and say, look, he said something wrong. Let's ban him. So Be smart, people. Be smart. And anyway, I'm going to end the stream. You guys are the most awesome people on earth, and thank you. It is awesome to be back, and I will. Today I'm a bit giddy, like a schoolgirl. Like I said to I don't know who was it? I said to John, the bemused, the bereaved, that I'm like a schoolgirl at a Justin Bieber concert. But I could have said I'm like a schoolgirl girl at a Onision video. So yeah, I could have been bad, but I'm not. Yes. So later, guys. Thank you all, and hopefully I might do another one tomorrow. I will try with all my. If I can rebuild my computer tomorrow, I will be on tomorrow. Either way, I'll try, because I try to be on tomorrow on another stream. So, thank you all, and good night.